The weekend stretched ahead, quiet and full of possibilities. I was free, and they were about to pay. For the first week, I heard nothing. No texts from old coworkers, no emails checking in. It was like I had been deleted from existence. I spent days updating my resume, applying to jobs, and enjoying the quiet. But then, little ripples started. A LinkedIn notification popped up. Clara had posted a job listing for Project Coordinator Urgent Hire. It matched my old role exactly. My lips curled into a smile. They thought I could be replaced overnight. Cute. I imagined the office without me. Deadlines slipping, client details forgotten. I'd been the quiet backbone for so long. Now they'd fill the gaps. Another notification. Mike viewed my profile, then Sarah. They were checking if I'd landed somewhere. I didn't post anything yet. Let them wonder. That night, I sipped tea on my couch, scrolling through industry forums. Whispers about the agency started appearing. Heard they're scrambling after losing a key player. It felt good. Not revenge yet, just satisfaction. I knew more would come. The silence was breaking, and I was ready to watch. My phone stayed quiet, but my mind buzzed with anticipation. How long until they cracked? Not long, I bet. The agency was a house of cards without me. I hadn't sabotaged anything. I wasn't that reckless. But I did notice they never asked me for the full list of client portal logins, vendor contacts, or workflow cheat sheets I kept. Those weren't in any official manual. They lived in my brain and a private Google Drive I'd set up for backups. Official stuff was handed over, but the extras, mine. I waited, checking my email daily. The silence wouldn't last. I pictured Clara assigning my tasks to juniors, thinking it was simple. But without my notes, they'd miss things, like how one vendor only responded after 3 p.m., or the hidden tabs and spreadsheets for tracking changes. I'd built those systems over years. Now they were gone with me. A week passed, then 2. No calls yet. I started job hunting seriously, but part of me enjoyed the wait. Then, late one evening, my phone buzzed. Not Clara, but a sign. A vague LinkedIn message from an agency intern asking about old files. I ignored it. Let them dig. The agency relied on my memory more than they knew. Soon, small mistakes would pile up. I smiled, closing my laptop. This was their mess now. I was out, and they were about to learn how much I mattered. It was Aaron, one of the junior staff. My phone rang on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, sorry to bother you, Amira, but do you remember the password for the Fleetwell campaign tracker? His voice was nervous, like he wasn't supposed to call me. I paused, letting the silence stretch. Aaron, I don't work there anymore, I said kindly. He sighed. I know, but Clara said to try you. We can't access it. I pictured the panic in the office, deadlines looming, screens locked. The tracker held all the timelines and notes for our biggest client. Without it, chaos. Sorry, I can't help, I replied. The pause on the line was long. Then he whispered, We're drowning here. 2 meetings canceled already. My heart quickened. This was it, the first crack. I felt a mix of pity and power. Aaron was nice, just caught in the mess. Good luck, I said, hanging up. That night, I added the call to my notebook. More would come. Clara wouldn't call herself yet. She'd send others first. But the agency was unraveling. I imagined files piling up, emails unanswered. They thought I was replaceable. Now Aaron's words echoed. Drowning. I slept better that night, knowing the tide was turning. That Monday, the firm missed its first major deadline in 2 years, one I used to personally safeguard. It was the quarterly report for Fleetwell, due at noon. I knew because I'd checked their public calendar online. By evening, the client's angry emails circulated on LinkedIn, tagging Clara and the agency. Unacceptable delay, expecting better from professionals, it read. Comments piled up. What happened? Sloppy work. I saw Clara's name in a not-so-friendly post from an industry group. She replied with excuses about technical issues. But I knew the truth. Without my reminders and checklists, they forgot the final review. Watching from the outside, I should have felt free. Instead, I felt powerful. This is just the beginning. More deadlines loomed. I imagined the office frenzy, Clara yelling, Junior scrambling. They'd blame adjustments after my exit, but clients wouldn't care. My phone stayed quiet, but satisfaction grew. I updated my LinkedIn subtly. Available for consulting, expert in seamless project flows. Views spiked. People were noticing. The agency's reputation dipped, and mine rose. That night, I toasted myself with tea. They fired me for not being a team player. Now, their team was falling apart. Suspense built. What next? I was ready to see. Out of nowhere, a recruiter contacted me about a position at a competitor. Her message popped up on LinkedIn. Saw your updates and comments under industry posts. Your expertise stands out. I'd been posting careful thoughts on project management. Nothing direct about the agency, but people connected dots. The competitor was bigger, with better clients. We need someone detail-oriented like you, she said in our call. I realized my old company's downfall could fuel my rise. The missed deadline was buzzing online, and my name wasn't tied to it. Instead, I looked like the pro who got out. But I didn't want to just move on yet. I wanted closure. I scheduled an interview but held back committing. What if Clara reached out? The suspense kept me alert. That evening, another message. An old client liked my post. Hints were dropping. I felt excitement mixed with caution. If I joined the competitor, I could take knowledge with me. Ethically, of course. But the agency's mess grew. Whispers said more clients complained. I smiled, closing my laptop. This recruiter offer was a sign. My value was clear now. They discarded me. Others wanted me. The timeline felt perfect. One step at a time, I'd build back stronger. Clara emailed me. Let's catch up over coffee. No hard feelings. I laughed out loud reading it. The subject was quick chat, but I knew better. The missed deadline and client complaints must have hit hard. She wanted me back, at least temporarily, to clean up the mess. But I wasn't going to give her that satisfaction. I replied yes, suggesting a neutral cafe. Why not? I wanted to hear her admitted. The day came and I arrived early, ordering tea. Clara walked in, looking polished but tense. We small talked about weather, then she leaned in. How have you been? I smiled. Fine, job hunting. Her eyes flickered. She stirred her coffee too long. I waited, building the moment. Finally, she'd crack. This meeting was my chance to see the cracks up close. I'd listen, nod, but give nothing away. Revenge wasn't yelling. It was watching them squirm. My notebook was in my bag, ready for notes. The cafe buzzed around us, but tension hung thick. What would she say? Beg? Offer money? I sipped my tea, calm outside, thrilled inside. This was the turning point. She needed me more than ever, and I held the power now. Over cappuccinos, Clara looked more tired than I'd ever seen her, bags under her eyes, no makeup hiding it. She fidgeted with her spoon. You know, you really left us in a tough spot, she said with forced lightness. I raised an eyebrow. How so? She sighed. The team hasn't quite adjusted. Deadlines are slipping, clients asking questions. Translation? Everything was crumbling. She admitted they couldn't find my notes on certain accounts. You were so good at those details, she added, almost pleading. I sipped my drink, nodded, and gave her nothing. Sounds challenging, I said neutrally. Her face tightened. She hinted at consulting work, maybe part-time help. I shook my head. I'm exploring other options. The silence stretched. She looked desperate, but pride held her back from begging. I felt a rush, seeing her vulnerable. This was the confession I wanted. Not sorry, but admitting my value. We wrapped up awkwardly. Think about it, she said at the door. I smiled. Sure. Walking away, satisfaction bloomed. She'd shown her hand. The agency was suffering, and she knew why. My plan was working without effort. Closure felt closer. What next? More chaos, I bet. I was ready. That night, I updated my LinkedIn headline. The invisible glue your company can't afford to lose. It wasn't subtle. I added a post about undervalued roles in marketing, sharing tips I'd used. Views exploded overnight. Comments rolled in. So true. We've all had an Amira in our team. People shared stories of being overlooked. My old coworkers saw it. I know because two of them liked the post in secret, Mike and Sarah. Their profiles showed up in notifications. They didn't message, but it meant something. Whispers reached me through mutual connections. Amira's post is going viral in our circles. Clara viewed my profile 3 times that day. I imagined her fuming. This was my move, public but professional. No direct attacks, just truth. It highlighted what they lost. Job offers trickled in from the post. Recruiter's message, love your perspective. Suspense built. Would Clara respond, or would more staff quit? I felt empowered, like I was rewriting my story. The agency's mess fueled this. They fired me, now I shone brighter. That evening, another like, from Aaron. The team was watching. Good, let them see. My value wasn't invisible anymore. The tide had turned fully. A friend still inside forwarded me an email chain. It was chaotic. Clients threatening to walk, staff begging for guidance, and Clara deflecting blame left and right. Technical glitches, she wrote to one client, but internals showed panic. Where are Amira's vendor lists? Can't find the login. I wasn't surprised. They relied on me for everything. But one line stood out. We'll just tell the clients Amira dropped the ball before she left. That flipped a switch in me. Blame me? After firing me? Anger surged. They were twisting facts to save face. My friend added, everyone knows it's not true. I saved the chain, time-stamped it. This was evidence if needed. The office sounded like a war zone. Meetings canceled, overtime forced. Clara's emails grew desperate. Team, step up. But without my systems, they couldn't. I felt a mix of fury and triumph. This wasn't just fallout, it was exposure. Their lies would catch up. I didn't respond, but planned my next step. Suspense gnawed. Would clients believe them or see through? I breathed deep, focusing. Revenge was letting truth unfold. They dug this hole. Now I'd watch them climb out, or fall deeper. The email burned in my mind. Game on. I remembered the feedback sessions Clara forced me into where she said I wasn't team material. They happened monthly, just us in her office. You need to engage more, Amira, she'd say, tone condescending. Not being a team player hurts morale. I nodded then, but recorded them. Legal in my state since I was part of the conversation. Now, hearing her voice again on playback made my skin crawl, smug, like she was helping. One clip. Your solo style isolates you. Lies. I was efficient, not isolated. I uploaded them to a private drive with timestamps, backing up everything. Didn't release yet, just prepared. If they blamed me publicly, these would counter. The email chain still stung. They planned to scapegoat me. But with recordings, notebook, and proofs, I was armed. Suspense built. What if I needed them? That night, I listened once more, anger fading to resolve. This was protection. The agency crumbled, I'd rise protected. A message from my friend. More resignations are coming. Good. Let it fall. I felt strong, ready for whatever. Clara's words echoed, but now they were weapons for me. Closure neared. The truth would win, not their twists. I slept soundly, empowered. The recruiter connected me to a competitor firm. Their office was sleek, modern, opposite my old cluttered space. They were chasing 2 of the exact clients my old company was fumbling, Fleetwell and another big one. In the interview, directors asked about my experience. I mentioned expertise with those accounts casually, logins, preferences, all ethical knowledge. Their eyes lit up. You handled Fleetwell, one said? I nodded, kept them happy for years. They leaned in asking details. I shared tips without breaching NDAs. By end, they wanted me immediately. Start next month? Higher pay, better title. Excitement bubbled. This was my rise. But suspense lingered. What about old clients? Would they follow? The firm hinted at pitching them soon. I imagined Clara's face if they switched. Walking out, I felt valued for once. No team player nonsense. They saw my skills. That evening, I reviewed the offer draft. Perfect. My old agency's mess made this possible. They lost, I gained. A call from the recruiter. They're thrilled. I smiled. Timeline aligned. Join after more fallout. No rush. Let them suffer a bit longer. This pitch was the bridge to better. I was building my future on their mistakes. One of the clients, let's call her Marina from Fleetwell, called me privately. Her number popped up unexpectedly. "Amira, it's Marina. Got your number from old emails." Her voice was warm but frustrated. "Honestly, we miss working with you. Things aren't the same since you left." She described delays, wrong reports, ignored preferences. "Clara says it's adjustments, but we're not happy." I listened, heart tightening. This wasn't just revenge, it was validation. "I appreciate that," I said. She hinted she'd follow me if I landed somewhere new. "Keep me posted on your next role." We chatted about the account. I knew it inside and out. Ending the call, excitement mixed with emotion. For the first time, I realized my worth wasn't invisible. Clients saw it. Suspense grew. Would others call? What if the competitor signed them? I noted the conversation in my notebook. This could shift everything. That night, another message. A second client liked my LinkedIn post. Signs pointed up. The old agency bled clients. I could save them elsewhere. Power shifted fully. No more quiet backbone. I was the star now. Marina's words echoed, "Miss you." Finally valued. The path ahead gleamed. Closure wasn't far. Through my inside friend, I learned people at the agency were jumping ship. 3 junior staff had resigned in a single week, Aaron included. "Can't take the chaos," my friend texted. The fun Slack channel was full of panic memes now, not jokes. Deadlines missed, clients yelling, and Clara? Rumor was she'd been asked to take a step back by higher-ups. Board meetings turned tense. My revenge was unfolding without me lifting a finger. I imagined the empty desks, frantic emails. They fired me, now the team dissolved. Suspense built. How many more would leave? My friend forwarded a resignation letter. "Lack of structure post Amira." Direct hit. I felt triumph, not guilt. They created this. That evening, LinkedIn notifications spiked. Ex-coworkers connecting, perhaps seeking advice. I replied politely. The agency's reputation dipped online. Reviews mentioned disorganization. Clara's posts got fewer likes. Everything crumbled. I prepared for my new role, excited. This fallout was poetic. No sabotage needed. Their flaws exposed themselves. I sipped coffee, smiling. Let it continue. Soon they'd be a shell. My rise contrasted their fall perfectly. The end neared for them. A beginning for me. The competitor gave me an official offer, higher pay, flexible hours, and a leadership title, Senior Project Lead. The letter arrived via email, detailed and promising. "We value your expertise," it read. I felt something I hadn't in years, excitement. But the best part? My first assignment was onboarding 2 clients I already knew like the back of my hand, Fleetwell and another. Marina had hinted, now it was real. They were pitching them aggressively. I signed digitally that night, starting in 2 weeks. Suspense lingered. Would Clara find out? How would she react? I imagined her panic if clients switched. This offer was my victory. Better everything, no toxic team pressure. That evening, I celebrated alone with takeout, reviewing tasks. Onboarding meant using my knowledge to shine immediately. The old agency's mess made this possible. They lost clients, I'd gain them. Power felt good. A text from Marina. "Heard you're moving? Let's talk." Perfect timing. The timeline aligned, no gaps. I was ready to lead, not hide. Closure approached. They undervalued me. Now others paid premium. The shift was complete. Excitement buzzed. Tomorrow, a new chapter. My first day at the new firm, I shook hands with Marina in the lobby. She was there for a meeting, switching from my old agency. "Glad to see you landed somewhere better," she whispered, smiling wide. Behind her, another ex-client from my old firm waved, signing papers too. My heart soared. The competitor had won them over with my input. I led the onboarding session, sharing details only I knew. "Amira's got this," the director said. Clients nodded, relieved. No more delays. Walking through the bright office, I felt at home. No whispers, just respect. That afternoon, more calls came, old contacts congratulating me. The old agency was bleeding, and I was the lifeline. but for someone else now. Suspense faded, triumph took over. Clara must be fuming. Rumors said they lost 3 more clients that week. Perfect. My desk overlooked the city, folders organized my way. No branded mugs here, personal ones allowed. I smiled, typing notes. This was value. They fired me, now I thrived. The shift felt final. Excitement for projects ahead grew. No looking back. Online chatter grew. Industry forums buzzed. Don't work with Clara's firm, they've lost their edge. Reviews dropped stars mentioning disorganization and lost clients. Whispers at networking events. Losing Amira was their turning point. The irony wasn't lost on me. They fired me for not being a team player. Now they had no team left. More resignations hit. 5 total. My inside friend quit too, joining a startup. The agency posted desperate job ads. Clara's LinkedIn stayed silent. No boasts. I watched from my new role, thriving. Onboarding went smooth. Clients praised me. Suspense was gone, fallout clear. Their reputation tanked while mine soared. Comments under my posts, inspiring story. Ex-coworkers messaged apologies. We miss your systems. Too late. This was justice. No effort from me, their flaws did it. That evening, I attended a virtual meetup. People asked about my transition. I shared lightly, no bitterness. Heads nodded. The old agency became a cautionary tale. Perfect. My new firm gained buzz. I felt complete. They crumbled. I rose. The end of their era, start of mine. Clara finally broke. She sent me a long email, half apology, half plea. Amira, I've been reflecting, it started. She admitted I had been undervalued, that the team player comment was misguided and mistakes happened under pressure. We wish you'd return, the office isn't the same. She offered consulting rates, begged for help with remaining clients. Reading it, I felt nothing. No anger, no joy. Just closure. Her words were too late, forced by desperation. I replied shortly, thanks for the note. I'm happy in my new role. No more. Suspense ended. This was the peak of their fall. Rumors said the agency downsized, Clara demoted. Perfect. I forwarded the email to my notebook drive for records. That night I reflected. Revenge wasn't her apology. It was moving on stronger. She saw my worth now, but I didn't need her validation. Clients followed me, team scattered. Done. Excitement for my projects grew. No bitterness. Lingered. This chapter closed cleanly. Months later, I stood on stage at an industry conference, presenting on project management best practices. The room was packed, lights bright. Details matter, I said, sharing tips from experience. I saw some familiar faces in the audience, my old coworkers, scattered now across different companies. Mike, Sarah, even Aaron. Their eyes widened when they saw me leading the panel. No longer invisible, I was the expert. Questions came. How do you handle toxic teams? I answered honestly, no names. Applause followed. After, they approached awkwardly. Great talk, Amira. I nodded, polite. No grudges. The conference buzzed with my name. Recruiters messaged more. My new firm promoted me. Clara? Her agency merged, faded. This stage was my pinnacle. Suspense long gone, success here. I felt proud, valued. The journey from fired to featured inspired others. Perfect ending. Looking back, revenge wasn't about destroying them. It was about letting them reveal who they were without me holding everything together. I didn't sabotage, I didn't scheme, I just stepped away. And in that space, I discovered something better. I was never the problem. I was the solution. The agency crumbled under their own weight, missed deadlines, lost clients, scattered team. Clara's apology came too late. Now I thrive at the competitor, leading projects, valued daily. Old coworkers message sometimes, sharing regrets. I reply kindly. Life's good. Better pay, respect, balance. Conferences invite me, networks grow. The team player label? Laughable now. I'm the glue, but on my terms. Closure came naturally. No loopholes left. Timeline clear. From mug to stage. I'm free. Stronger. They suffered without me. as planned. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, comment, and smash the subscribe button. Also, check out other videos on the channel. We've got more interesting stories for you.